The countdown has begun. Just 4 days stand between fight fans and one of the most anticipated heavyweight clashes of 2025. Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. It's the kind of matchup that divides an entire sport right down the middle. On one side, you have Gane, a master technician, a sculpted striker with silky footwork and calm composure, capable of making the heavyweight division look more like a ballet than a brawl. On the other, Tom Aspinall, a wrecking machine wrapped in precision, speed, and intelligence. Predictions have flooded every corner of the MMA world, and the closer the fight gets, the more divided the opinions become. Some analysts believe Ciryl Gane's refined striking will be the key. They point to his discipline, his ability to control distance, and his fluid movement, things few heavyweights have ever truly mastered. His recent win over Alexander Volkov, however, didn't impress everyone. Fans noticed a different tone in that rematch. Volkov came forward, pressured him, and made Gane uncomfortable, turning what many expected to be a dominant display into a razor-thin contest. Some even thought Volkov did enough to win. Still, Gane walked away with the victory, proving once again that even when not at his best, his technical edge keeps him alive against anyone. But when you mention Tom Aspinall's name, the conversation shifts entirely. Former champions, commentators, and fighters all seem to agree. Aspinall is a different breed. His fight IQ, speed, composure, and balance are unlike anything we've seen in the division since prime Cain Velasquez. Dominic Cruz put it perfectly in his recent appearance on John Anik's podcast. When asked who could possibly beat Aspinall if the fate of the MMA world was on the line, Cruz didn't hesitate. "Only John Jones," he said. "There's nobody else that can threaten him. And honestly, there's nobody that can threaten John either. That's why they never fought." Cruz's words sent shockwaves through the MMA community. He explained that Jones, for all his brilliance, has never truly faced someone like Aspinall, someone whose size is natural to the division, whose movement is sharp, and whose control on the ground mirrors Jones's own mastery at light heavyweight. "I think Aspinall would get him," Cruz added. "But if Jones beat him, that would be the ultimate statement, walking away as the undisputed greatest of all time." The matchup feels mythical, the new king versus the old god. But for now, Aspinall's focus is entirely on Gane, the man standing between him and heavyweight immortality. As the hype builds, the MMA world is still dealing with the fallout from Reinier de Ridder's shocking collapse and his even more shocking excuses. The Dutch grappling phenom stunned fans earlier this month when he quit on the stool against Brendan Allen. It was one of the rarest sights in MMA, a world-class athlete breaking under pressure. Moments after the loss, RDR took to social media to explain himself, claiming he'd been battling a virus and injuries throughout his camp. Initially, some fans gave him sympathy, but that narrative crumbled fast when Paul Felder revealed the truth on his podcast with Michael Bisping. According to Felder, during their pre-fight meetings, de Ridder was the picture of health. "He was completely fine," Felder said bluntly. "No mention of illness, no mention of injury. He was shaking hands, laughing, and talking about strategy. If he was sick, that's news to us, and I'd be pissed if he was, considering how close we sat." The revelation flipped public perception overnight. What once looked like a case of bad luck now looked like damage control. Instead of owning the loss, RDR was accused of lying to protect his reputation. Felder's final advice cut deep. "You can be the most technical guy in the world, but if you get tired, you're done. Do your cardio. Don't skip it." Meanwhile, chaos is brewing elsewhere, and this time it involves two of the UFC's most unpredictable stars. Dana White recently addressed the heated altercation between Khamzat Chimaev and Petr Yan, a feud that no one saw coming. It started with words. Yan dismissed Chimaev as not a real Russian, a jab that hit deeper than expected. Khamzat, never one to hold back, fired back with a personal insult about Yan's Chinese-sounding last name. What started online quickly escalated in person, with Yan's manager confirming the two had a serious conversation that crossed a line. Dana White, though visibly frustrated, shrugged it off in classic fashion. "We're in the fight business," he said. "These things happen. You never know what to expect from that guy. For the UFC president, it's just another storm to weather. But it's one he'd prefer to avoid, especially with both men tied to major fights." Chimaev is still the middleweight champion, and Yan is preparing for a title bout against Merab Dvalishvili, a rematch few fans wanted, but one that promises fireworks. Their first fight was a one-sided mauling, and many wonder if Gane can even survive the rematch. For now, though, the focus remains on the heavyweight title fight, the crown jewel of UFC 320. Even outside the octagon, Tom Aspinall continues to make headlines. Brendan Schaub recently lit up social media after declaring that if Aspinall wants to silence his critics, he must finish Gane in under 2 minutes. Schaub's logic was brutal but simple. Jon Jones choked out Gane in 2 minutes flat. For Aspinall to truly separate himself, he'd need to not just win, but dominate faster and more convincingly than the man many still consider the greatest. It's an impossible standard, yet one that only adds to the magnitude of what's at stake. Aspinall, for his part, isn't rattled. He's confident, composed, and laser-focused on performance over pressure. He's praised Gane's skill and movement, but made it clear he sees holes he can exploit. "Ciryl can drag me into deep waters," he admitted in an interview, "but I'm ready for that. I respect him, but I believe I'll win." Despite the speculation,